It's 17 GMT, and we are taking you now live to Ankara, where Turkey's President Recep Tayyip Erdogan has been holding talks with the visiting Libyan Prime Minister Hamid Dbeibeh. They've signed a number of accords, and they're now holding a news conference. Let's listen in.
Year of rooted historic relations, very special relations. As two related countries, of course, we have been having the same destiny for hundreds of years, as we have the same crescent and star on our flag, and we have had struggle together. Mr. Fethi, Nuri Bey, Ömer Muhtar, and other many heroes they struggled together, and we came to this point together. With this common strength, we are building our future. The sovereignty of Libya and the territorial integrity and the social unity of Libya and the prosperity of Libyan people is our absolute priority. Turkey, with its south, east, north, and west, of course, it embraces all countries with love and respect.
We are ready with all our resources to support legitimate government. Dear members of the press, the attacks against Tripoli are reaching very serious points, and we have been reaching for help for our Libyan brothers in their struggle. And the only support they received from Turkey, while we were standing together with the legitimate government, the others were armed. The pushes, the crime against humanity and war crimes of the other side is one by one revealing. Equality and legitimacy, instead of supporting legitimacy, they are cooperating to push it. With the agreements that we have signed and the memorandum of understanding, within the framework of these agreements, we have prevented the fall of Tripoli and we stopped future attacks. Turkish support is also opened the route to the Berlin Conference, and as a result of all these efforts, the government of national accord could be built. From now on, our priority is the sovereignty of the government of national accord and the unity of all the departments, all the institutions in the country. This is absolute priority. Our Libyan brothers, for our Libyan brothers to live in better conditions, the public services should be improved. Hereby, I would like to invite all of the international community to support Libya in this work. I hope that it will be the end of the struggle of the Libyans, and it will be.
We always seen Mediterranean as a prosperity, and the agreement we have signed, the memorandum of understanding that we signed with Libya, is securing the future of Libya. We have previously emphasized that all the memorandum of agreements are for the benefit of the future of Libya. our bilateral relationships and the trade value. We are taking steps to improve, and now we should be focusing on the prosperity of our Libyan brothers. Turkey, with its stability and strong private sector, it can give all the help. It will give all the help for the rebuilding of Libya. Tomorrow, with the Prime Minister, and we will have another meeting, and all these issues will be deliberated upon in our meeting tomorrow. Also about the education and culture, we will improve our cooperation. Of course, hereby, the trouble of coronavirus is continuing. At the moment, tomorrow, 150,000 doses of coronavirus vaccination will be delivered. As the situation is matured, we are going to open the embassy again. And the Turkish experience in the struggle against coronavirus will be helping Libya too. With this aim, we are going to run a pandemic hospital in Tripoli, and we are going to support the rebuilding of Libyan health industry. Libya will not be a country that is mentioned with instability and chaos. In order to obtain a Libya with peace and harmony, we are going to continue our cooperation and support. Of course, hereby I would like to remember again all our martyrs that have lost their life lost their lives protecting their countries. I hope our Libyan brothers and sisters are going to achieve the country they missed in peace and prosperity. I would like to thank my brother Dbeibeh and his delegation for their visit.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
On you all.
Your Excellency,
President Recep Tayyip Erdogan, Your Excellencies, ministers, representatives of the media, may God's peace and blessings be with you. At the outset, I would like to extend all thanks and appreciation to the Turkish leadership and people for the warm reception and generous hospitality, and I seize the opportunity to congratulate them on the advent of the holy month of Ramadan. The joint meeting held today carries a great significance as it kickstarts the operations of the Joint Strategic Committee of the two brotherly and friendly states who have a lot in common. We are seeking strategic relations based on interest with all the neighboring and friendly countries. Turkey is not an exception. With little wisdom and will, we are capable of achieving our people's interests. During the joint meeting, we reiterated the importance of Libya's sovereignty, territorial integrity, economic and social freedom all across the country in each and every corner. Respect to Libya's sovereignty is the common ground on which we are dealing with all other states. We are very pleased with the proposal made by Turkey to provide all assistance to Libya in holding the coming election. During the meeting also we reiterated the significance of the role played by Turkey in implementing a lasting and comprehensive ceasefire following the war our country has been living. We also reiterated the importance to provide mutual cooperation in the security domain. Both the countries will be cooperating in combating terrorism of all its forms, also combating transborder organization, including human trafficking. With respect to the memoranda of understanding signed between our respective countries, namely the maritime ones, we reiterate that these memoranda were built on mutual interest of both the countries and people. We are for a Mediterranean dialogue where all the countries concerned achieve the respective interests. We also look forward to increasing the trade volume between our respective countries in a very balanced fashion. And in this respect, a joint meeting will be held in the Joint Economic Committee in order to conclude the free trade agreement. Your second homeland, Libya, is heading towards a huge task of development and rebuilding, and that's why Libya is welcoming all the Turkish companies to lend a helping hand, together with companies from other friendly and sister countries. The Turkish countries will have the precedence and priority simply for the reason that they enjoy a vast expertise, and we will do all what we can to eliminate any obstacles on their way. Ladies and gentlemen, we reiterated the significance of reinforcing cooperation in the energy domain for the mutual interests of both the people. We also expressed our preparedness to immediately kickstart the operations. Also, the commercial flights between the countries will resume soon. Also, cooperation in the healthcare domain, namely the COVID-19 pandemic. In brief, we are looking forward to deep-rooted strategic relations with all the countries, namely the friendly brotherly state of Turkey, and we hope our mutual relation will set examples for others to the best interest of our respective people and for the greater good. We are keen on having the meetings of this joint committee convened regularly, and we look forward to hosting the coming joint meeting in the capital, Tripoli, by the grace of God. Once again, I thank you and I congratulate you on the advent of the holy month of Ramadan. Thank you.
We've been watching a news conference coming to us from Istanbul, Ankara this hour in Turkey, where Libya's Prime Minister Abdul Hamid Dbeibeh and a delegation of ministers have made their first visit to Turkey. We heard earlier from the Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan, who praised relations between the two countries. This is Libya's new unity government, which was sworn in on March 15th after, the two warring administrations in Libya that ruled the east and western regions agreed on this unity government and completed a transition of power after a decade of conflict. Turkey had backed the Tripoli-based government of national accord against the eastern-based Libyan National Army, which was supported by Russia, Egypt, among others. And now the new Libyan government, led by the Prime Minister and a delegation of ministers in Ankara today, holding talks with the Turkish leader and signing a number of agreements. Let's speak to our correspondent in Turkey about this, Resul Sedar, who joins us live from Istanbul. So, Resul, a very important visit for the new Libyan government. Tell us more about what the talks are focused on and what this new Libyan government is hoping to get from Turkey.
Well, the talks are mostly focusing around the rebuilding process of Libya. And as the communique after the meeting that has been released and read out by two leaders in Ankara also shows that how significant this process is for rebuilding for the Libyan national unity government, because this government just 8 months later is going to hold an election. This is a transitional government. In December there will be an election, and the government definitely wants to succeed. Two main tracks. One of them is going to be the rebuilding of Libya economically, and the other one is going to be the reforms in the economical sectors. So for both tracks, they need desperately Turkey's support in that sense. And the meeting today that has been held in Ankara between two leaders, this is the first high-level strategic cooperation council between two countries. The Libyan government was hoping to get enough support from Ankara, and Ankara also is hoping and stepping in to be an important major player in the rebuilding efforts of Libya. Just the Libyan Prime Minister, Hamid Dbeibeh, is the power broker in Libya, and with a strong personality, with a gravitas, and he just got all of his team, the most important 14 ministers in his cabinet, 5 deputy prime ministers, head of the central bank, and also the chief of staff, and got in Ankara. This is very much symbolically also very much important. Just remember that on 25th of March, German, French, and Italian foreign ministers were in Tripoli, and later the Italian prime minister was there. Then the Greek prime minister also visited Tripoli, and all of them unanimously asked the Libyan government to pressure on the foreign forces in Libya to withdraw, which means practically Turkey and Russia. But the Libyan government doesn't see this as realistic for the time being, because just remember in 2019, when the UAE France-backed Khalifa Haftar was trying to take over Tripoli, Turkey has been a game changer and turns the fortunes in favor of the GNA, Government of National Accord in Tripoli, and Dbeibeh is very, very well aware of this reality. So he's now in Ankara and also sending out a message that the cooperation and the maritime deal that has been signed, the military cooperation and the maritime deal that has been signed with Turkey, that creates the exclusive economic zone in the Mediterranean Sea, is going to stay there. And he is assuring Ankara that Libya is committed to these agreements. So today we can see that a very large variety of the agreements was on the agenda: the trade, security, construction, energy, media, transportation, health, tourism, and culture. So it is quite a significant show of the strategic alliance between these two countries, and for the future of the Libya of the future, also Turkey seems that is going to remain a major player.
Resul Sedar in Istanbul, thank you.